I'm Yaya Han and you're watching Multifan. I'm good. Thanks so much. Thank you everybody for coming.
Greetings from Con Opinion.
Oh!
You're truly a hero for me. For every cosplayer, we look at you and we admire you so much.
Thank you.
And every superhero has a background. What was the beginning for Yaya Han? When you are originating this cosplay?
Yes, my origin story. You're asking. I was lucky enough to find cosplay when I was still fairly young, and I kind of grew up in the cosplay and fandom convention world. So my first convention was Anime Expo in LA in 1999. So I went as a fan, and I made a very bad costume that no one recognized, but I loved the idea of turning a pile of fabric into something I could wear. So I have been cosplaying ever since, and have entered contests. I've won contests. I started doing panels. I was one of the first cosplayers to be invited as a guest to a convention. I was among the first to judge cosplay contests, and it's become my job ever since. So it's like most of my adult life I've just known cosplay. Yeah.
Thanks so much for being an inspiration. And if you have a couple of words for the first generation we have of cosplayer right now, that they're like little, what would you say to them? What was this?
I would say for new cosplayers, really take advantage of all the resources that are available. We are in a time where cosplay is actually celebrated and respected as an art form. So there are a lot of resources out there for how to make costumes, and I think it's like there really is no excuse. You can find and learn everything on YouTube, through Google. So really embrace it and let your love for the character really guide you on which cosplays that you do.
Thank you so much.
Hola chicos, hola.
I'm from Radio C, Asia. I wanted to ask you about your post when you announced that you were going to Chile. And you said that you always wanted to come here.
Yeah.
Why?
Well, I think cosplay used to be a very localized thing. You really just only got to know people in your region, in your country, and I've been really lucky because cosplay is my job, I've been able to travel around the world and meet people in different regions. And so I've been to Europe a lot, and I've been to Mexico quite a bit. I've even been to Asia a few times, but I feel like I've not ever ventured down to South America very much. But I know that there has been a vibrant cosplay community here, and I speak to them, to cosplayers online. So that's how I know there are a lot of Chilean cosplayers, or I've met cosplayers who have friends in Chile and they've asked me to do video messages for them, or sign something for them. So I feel like there definitely is a big culture here, and I've always wanted to experience it because that is sort of like what I love. Is like I love the social aspect of cosplay. I love getting to know the cosplay culture in different countries. So it's been really lovely to come here, and I've met cosplayers who've been cosplaying for almost as long as I have. So for them, it's really nice to almost like meet my generation of cosplayers who've been doing it since the mid 2000s and such.
And also, what is your first impression of Chile? Something that caught your eye or surprised you?
Chile, just in general, I'm amazed by the landscape here, and I hope I get to see some more of it. This trip is very short, unfortunately, but I think it's just crazy that right outside the convention center are these like beautiful mountains. So that's, I think, very different from what I'm used to. And just the convention has been great because I see people loving the same anime and games that I do. So it's like, even though this is someplace I've never been, I definitely feel like I belong here. So
Thank you. Welcome to Chile.
thank you. Hi.
This is for the psicodélico de Alan. And my question is, we have seen you with a lot of amazing work, amazing costumes, and even the one you are wearing now.
Thank you.
And my question is there anyone, one costume or one work that you are so proud of and is your favorite per se?
You got a favorite one?
So for a really long time, I didn't want to say that I only had one favorite cosplay because the whole point of cosplaying is that you can be different characters, and each of my costumes, means something to me. Because like I cosplay characters that I care about, and it's like it's time that I'm spending with them. But I keep coming back to Chun-Li. Yeah, because Chun-Li is like a character I've always seen myself, I related to playing the games growing up, and I cosplayed Chun-Li on my own for over 10 years, and then this year Capcom actually hired me to be Chun-Li for the new Street Fighter 6, so I got to make the costume and go to the launch party, and I think within like that process and that experience, I'm just like, yeah, that's my girl, like she's the one that I gravitate to the most. And so, yeah, I think Chun-Li is my favorite.
Hi.
Hi.
We are from Video Chile. My question is, what's the biggest gratification of being a cosplayer?
I think it's the biggest gratification to me is that you can really become whatever you want. I love the transformation of being whatever characters. I think as much as I love making costumes, it's sort of like taking the first photos and really like you stop seeing yourself as you start seeing just a character. That's what's really satisfying to me. And of course, I definitely learned through the pandemic that what I love the most is I have to meet people in person. Like just cosplaying on social media is not nearly as satisfying. Like it's almost meaningless if you can't actually look people in the eye and meet them and have that in-person experience. So I feel like I'm sort of renewing my efforts to travel to more conventions, which is why I got on a plane and sat there for 10 hours to come here. But it's like it really is worth it. There's nothing that can replace the in-person, experience that you can have with others. So, yeah.
Hola Yaya,
Hola.
te voy a pedir tu ayuda. Soy del canal de Multifan Chile. Quería preguntarte, bueno, te conocemos desde Héroes por Cosplay, un programa de televisión muy clásico de reality show de cosplay. Hasta el día de hoy, por ejemplo, que vimos que una máquina de coser tiene tu nombre.
He knows about the sewing machine from Bernina.
Yeah. Yes, my sewing machine.
Te quería preguntar, ¿qué se siente esta, responsabilidad, esta trayectoria para las nuevas generaciones del cosplay? ¿Cómo lo ves desde ese punto de vista con toda esta...
What do you feel about to be a huge image for every single cosplayer around the world? The main figure.
I mean, I think I'm a steady figure. I don't know if I'm the biggest figure, but I'm probably the steadiest because I've been active consistently for 20 years. And I think a lot of other cosplayers, they come and go, or they've only been around for the past 10 some years. So I definitely, if anything, I see myself sort of as a keeper of knowledge because I know the history and I know like what we went through as a community and how much we had to, evolve into being respected. I think cosplay used to be viewed as something very weird, and as a fan it was like, you're cool if you collected like the expensive figures or the collectible DVDs, or even before that, the laser discs or something. Like those were the cool fans, right? But then cosplayers, we were like kind of almost like losers who just like dressed up as the characters. And so I have felt along the way, like every time we've made new headways and we were able to break into another media, like, oh, we got featured on MTV, and oh, we got featured on CNN, or companies like Marvel will hire cosplayers to help promote their stuff, and of course gaming companies. Like anytime we achieve something like that, it makes me really proud. It makes me be like, yeah, hell yeah, this is what we work so hard for our craft, and this is something very passionate for us, and I really love it when people can see that. So I see myself as an advocate for cosplay, and someone who just like is always there to try to make the community more accepted, but also make things easier for the community. So that's why I do a lot of product design. In America, I have a line of fabrics that are available in over 800 fabric stores, and this year I released a sewing machine that is really meant for garment makers and for cosplayers. And so whenever I'm able to do something like that and hopefully have cosplayers use my products and feel like now their craft is a little easier and a little smoother, that makes me very happy. So that's what I focus on.
Another question?
Hello.
Hello.
I'm Andres, this is for Estamos Ready TV. I have two questions. First of all, of course, many people follow you, many people admire you and your work. So the first question is, how do you feel about the love and admiration you receive from these fans? And also, what is the message you will give to them?
I mean, I feel very flattered and honored, of course. I see myself as, I'm also just another fan. And so whenever I get to meet people that are like-minded, and, if they tell me that they were inspired by me, then that's great. That's the best message I can hear. So, and like, I just want everyone to continue honing their craft and continue cosplaying characters that they love. Don't get wrapped up in like the hype train. Don't cosplay because you think something is popular. Cosplay somebody you really like. Like I that's the foundation. Like I have tried cosplaying characters for properties that maybe I got hired to do, but I have no connection to the character, and I see the difference so much versus if I cosplay someone like Ada Wong from a game that I play and that I love, then it really just makes such a huge difference. So I always want to impart that message to other cosplayers.
Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm. The other one.
By your last answer, I would mention you have good character. We are from a generation that grew up with Disney
Yes.
movies. Right now is the 100th anniversary of Disney.
Yes.
So I want to know what was for you like seeing all of those characters on the TV when you were a kid in the VHS of VHS. Yeah. And right now you're like one of those characters.
Oh God.
So
She means the feeling.
Right.
one of the things that you loved the most when you were a kid.
I think it's, let's see, I believe in dreams.
Yeah.
I tell people all the time, you should keep dreaming and keep, like following your dreams. Because I think I'm definitely a walking testament that dreams do come true. came to America from Germany, actually, by myself, and so I'm a first generation immigrant, and I sort of like lived the American dream where I really like created my own career and created, you know, a space for me to thrive in. But like, of course, nowadays, like, I get to do some crazy things that I, as a child, never would have dreamed of, and it just shows me that really, like, you know, you have a good amount of time on this earth, and you can continue to follow your dreams. Like, you can make that decision. Do you want to give up because it's really hard right now, or do you want to continue? You know, and I sort of am like, well, I've been continuing for 20 some years, and there have been some really weird, crazy, you know, phases in my life, and definitely times where I wanted to quit cosplay or like find another job or something, but I'm really happy that I continue to, you know, do this, because it's like now I feel like I really have a space in it, and I'm very content, I'm very humbled, so it's wonderful. Thank you.
Última pregunta. Hola Yaya, soy Sofía de Radio Activa y quería saber cuál es tu próximo cosplay que tienes planeado.
Which is the next cosplay plan you have in mind?
Yeah, okay, so that's the one thing about this year has been very exciting because I've traveled a lot. I feel like the world really has opened this year, so I had a lot of opportunities to travel, and I worked with some great companies, and then I released my sewing machine, which has been fantastic, but also a lot of work. So the drawback is that I've only made 3 costumes this year. Really, I've only finished 3 because it's just been so wide open and I'm not even home very much. So my next 2 costumes that I'm making, because during the winter I finally have time at home, is one is I'm going super old school, super nostalgic. I haven't even told my friends about it, but I'm making Idea from Final Fantasy VIII.
Wow!
Because she's like the OG Final Fantasy villain. Like 8 was the game I played through, and I just was like super engrossed in her, and so I'm gonna be definitely utilizing some new techniques. I have a laser cutter that is, you know, fairly new that I'm gonna be doing the clockwork piece out of, and collaborating with Dangerous Ladies in Canada to make the helmet. They're 3D printing it. So that should be really fun, and I will be working on that in all of December, basically. And then my other costume I'll be working on at the same time, because I like to work on 2 at the same time, is I'm basically going to cosplay my sewing machine. I'm going to make an original costume in the same colors as the sewing machine, all the lilacs and blues and such, and I'm going to be doing a lot of embroidery on it with the machine, of course. So all of that will be coming forth, and I have all the fabrics. I just need to be home to work on it, but instead I'm here, so. Yeah.